Hi everyone, my name is Mary and I'm the lead florist at Loca, and today I'm going to be taking you through how to build a flower arrangement at home. When you are getting ready to build your arrangement, you have to start with choosing the proper flowers. So you want a variety of colors, you want a variety of textures as well, different height, different sizes. You don't want to forget about dimension as well when you're building your arrangement. So you're going to choose some spiky stems, something that adds some height. Along with that, you want the more airy elements as well. Lastly, you're going to choose a focal flower, and you are going to build the bouquet around that. So it's really going to be the standout, the star of the show, and work around that with all your other elements and to create a beautiful arrangement. All right, so let's get into building this arrangement. So you're going to want to start with a clean vase. Next thing you're going to do is mix in your plant food. So you can do that before you add the flowers in. It's just a little bit easier. Pro tip before we start, we're just going to create a little bit of a grid on the vase. You're going to be able to place your blooms a little bit easier where you want them. These will be covered up by the flowers, so don't worry about it too much. Last thing I wanted to mention is the temperature of your water. So you want to make sure that you're not going with very cold water. Just like a nice lukewarm temperature is good. And then we're going to start building. So you can take any bloom you feel drawn to start with, and we're going to trim our stems first of all. You want to cut your stems on a 45-degree angle. That way you are getting the most surface area for that water absorption. I like to just kind of get a bulk of flowers in the vase at first, and then I kind of work off of it from there. I need a little bit of inspiration from just seeing what everything looks like together before I really get in depth with creating the design that I want. But as you can see, I already have like a few elements going on. I have like a nice big focal flower, we have a spiky Veronica stem, and we have a very whimsical Queen Anne's lace. If you're unsure where to start, a good place to start is with like your bulk greenery. That does make up actually the majority of your bouquet. You don't want foliage in the water. Again, it just creates a breeding ground for bacteria. So what you're gonna wanna do is strip your stems about the length of like where they're gonna be sitting in the water. So our water height is about yay high, so I'm just gonna strip this stem a little bit. Yeah, and while you're doing this, don't forget about height. You don't want everything to be cut the exact same height. You want, again, dimension in your arrangement. Don't be afraid to just keep adding. Honestly, a lot of the times with flower arrangements, the more volume, the better. So that's where greenery comes into play. It's a little less expensive to purchase, so it's really good to just fill in those gaps. So I went with kind of like a bluey, peachy theme for this arrangement. I think it goes really well, contrasts really well against the black vase that we chose. So as you can see, it's starting to come together. It just needs a little more fullness. So again, I'm just gonna be adding like a bunch of bulk greenery to get that fullness that we want. Something that's very delicate is a really nice element to add into your arrangements. Like baby's breath is good to put in there. Just creates a little bit of whimsy. So a lot of these stems that we're using today will be available at Loca for purchase. We have a really exciting program that we're starting, which is the single stem program. So you'll be able to get very unique flowers. We're gonna bring those in and you can purchase them by the stem. We will also have pre-made bouquets available at Loca, which you will be able to just quickly pop into a vase using these tips and tricks that we've talked about. A good tip is also, if you're building an arrangement, is to get a little more than you think you will need originally, because sometimes flowers break and sometimes you just need a lot more filler than you think. And don't be afraid to remove things. If you don't like an element, you can always remove it, you can change it, change the position, change the height. It's a good idea just to have that freedom to play around. If you want to get a little more hands-on experience, we will be hosting Loca flower arrangement events that you'll be able to attend, and we'll be able to create an arrangement together, and you'll get to learn all these tips and tricks hands-on, and I'll be there to help guide you through it. Okay, and we're almost there. It's also a good idea to take a step back every once in a while and look at it from a different angle just to get a little bit of perspective. Okay, and there you have it, your finished arrangement. So we brought in all those elements that we touched upon. We have a focal flower, we have color, we have texture, we have movement, we have height, everything that you want to create a beautiful flower arrangement. A couple of tips for keeping this looking great longer. You're going to want to keep it out of sunlight. So cut flowers actually don't need sunlight. In fact, it's the opposite. Putting them in direct sunlight will speed up transpiration and they will die faster. Another tip to keeping this arrangement looking good longer is changing out the water every couple of days. And while you're changing the water, if you have the time and the gumption, you can also trim those stems an extra ½ an inch just to help with the water uptake and make sure that the blooms get as much hydration as possible. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoy your flower arrangements.